Well, hello, I'm Joe Graziano. Welcome to Graziano's Casimir Restaurant. And what I'm going to make for you today is a spaghetti alla Puttanesca. The Puttanesca is kind of a modern Italian classic, or Sicilian if you will. It's made with, it's kind of a vegetarian dish, and it's made with items that you can keep in your pantry or your refrigerator, and they'll stay for long periods of time. It's good items to have. It's very tasty. The name Puttanesca is somewhat controversial in ways. It's a little cheeky name. It means puttana means prostitute in Italian, and legend has it that the prostitutes would make this meal in between customers because it was quick, easy, and tasty. And what you want to do is heat the pan first and then add a little bit of oil. Well, the first ingredients we're going to put in there, I have some chopped garlic, about 2 tablespoons. One of the things you can do with your extra virgin olive oil is cut it with a little bit of vegetable oil, like half and half. You'll get the flavor, plus you'll raise the smoking point, and it'll cook a little bit easier. You don't really want to fry with extra virgin olive oil, but you do want to use it for sauces like this. Now that garlic is starting to cook up. We're going to let it cook for a moment. One of the most important ingredients in a puttanesca is the anchovy. I know some of you probably don't like anchovies, or you're a little leery of using anchovies, but just adding 2 small anchovies chopped up into some sauces can add amazing flavor. An anchovy flavor, it's slightly fishy in the amounts that we're using, but what it's going to add is mostly a salty flavor, kind of earthy. And I'm going to turn the heat down just a bit, and I'm going to add my capers, pickled flower buds, some chopped black olives. You can use Kalamata olives or any other kind of olive if you wish. If you like the flavor of olives, black olives are a little milder. A little more accessible. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a few spices. Add a little black pepper, a little bit of salt, but you don't need a lot of salt because the capers are quite salty, and the anchovy will add quite a bit of salt. And then we're going to add a touch of chili powder. It's going to give it a little smokiness and a little bit of spice. Not to mention a little bit of color. What I have here is some red roasted peppers, canned. I've julienne sliced them, which is long, thin slices. That's not necessarily an addition that you would find in the classic recipe. The roasted peppers is something I like in them, and I've added them myself. What I'm going to do now, and this is something that everybody should have in their kitchen, is a good broth. This is a light chicken broth. You can make it with veal, chicken, beef, seafood, vegetables, or a combination of any of them. Will add many complex flavors. This itself is just a light chicken broth. I'm going to deglaze the pan. I'll just use half of it. And what that's going to do is going to take any of the food that's stuck to the bottom of the pan. We're going to turn the heat back up, and it's going to mix it right back in, so all the flavors are together. You can do that with wine even, which will add more of a wine flavor. The alcohol will cook off. We'll leave a little bit slight flavor of the wine, of the grapes. 28-ounce canned tomatoes. These are chopped tomatoes. Sometimes I like to buy the whole peeled tomatoes. I think they have a little more flavor and you can chop them yourself. They're a little messy, but for convenience I chose the chopped tomatoes already. And we're going to let that simmer for a while. Not only does the dish taste good, but it looks good with all the colors. At this point, if you'd like to add some kind of a protein, you can add some cooked chicken. I know what's really good in this dish is a can of tuna fish. Take some canned chunky tuna fish, put it in here when it's just about done cooking, chop it up into little pieces, and it makes a wonderful addition to the sauce. We're just about ready here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some chopped scallions. Now these green onions, I usually put them in towards the end, because I like them a little chunky and I think they retain their flavor a little bit longer. If you would rather have them a little softer, you can add them before. Now that the sauce is complete, I'm going to add about half of my fresh chopped parsley. My father would call the chopped parsley the flavor exploder. And I tend to believe that freshness, especially in a sauce like this, tends to really come out. Especially when you add it towards the end. You don't want to cook it. Now I've got my already cooked spaghetti, which has been drained. I'm going to add that directly to the sauce. I'm going to use my fork to coat the pasta. Make sure it's got plenty of it. Plenty of sauce and about a half a pound of pasta here for 2 people. Add it to the plate while leaving some of the sauce in. And top it with all that wonderful sauce. And we'll finish it off with a sprinkle of the fresh parsley.